What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. On the left side here, we have Tearlaments, the meta deck of 2023, going up against Ryzeal, the meta deck of 2025. We see a 2-year jump. Will Tearlaments be able to end up beating the power of the new cards that we end up seeing in the current meta? Before we dive on in, over to like, comment, subscribe. This is going to be the first video of 2025, going in with a heat. Ryzeal being one of the best decks right now to beat. This is going to be pure Ryzeal, no Fiendsmith cards mentioned. We do see them winning the die roll here, being able to normal summon out the Ice Ryzeal, which can then activate the effect, allowing us to summon out another Ryzeal from the deck. This is going to be one of your better normal summons. Being able to bring out another of the Ryzeal, but locking yourself can be quite nice as well. This can be what you do want to normal summon when you are playing the Fiendsmith cards. We're going to see Sorgan activate the effect, allowing us to search for the X, which is going to be another starter by being able to send an extra deck card, an XYZ from the extra deck, to the graveyard to allow it to summon itself out. Then we are locked into rank 4s. We're going to be seeing here instead us overlay up into a Ryzeal Duel Drive, which can then activate the effect, allowing us to search for 2 of the cards here. It's going to be one of the better targets to hit with Ghost Ogre. So for that, making them stopping a double search is pretty crucial. We are going to be seeing the plugin as well as the field spell being searched there. A lot of decks are not playing the plugin anymore. And now we're going to be continuing the line with the X, being able to send the Mitchell Logic, which can be attached later on with the Detonator, summon itself out, and then it's going to activate the effect, allowing us to summon out a level 4 from the deck. Or it adds, I guess, the level 4 here to the hand instead. We do see a crossout in the hand as well. It looks like a trap, so potentially having the trap card for the Ryzeals as well. We are going to be summoning out the Node now here, which is going to be allowing us to summon out other ones if we want to here, but they are going to activate that by discarding the crossout, summoning out the other one, which can be Sword. And now we have access to a Detonator here as well if we wanted. We are locked into rank 4s. Yeah, plugin also allows us to summon out another level 4 if I'm not mistaken. I personally have not played this. Yeah, it does summon one out. So I guess we will have 3 rank 4s on the field here. We go overlay up into a copy of the Duel Drive, or Detonator here. Detonator can then attach the Mutual Logic. So we have the Cross Negate as well as the Detonator detach and the Mutual Logic. We are going to activate the plugin, allowing us to summon back out any of the bodies here. And then we can attach the XYZ to, well, we can attach the trap to the XYZ there, which can then be attached later to XYZ when it's in the graveyard here. Into anything we can, whether it be a Zeus or whatever else you want, a Detonator, our choice. Now, we can't go for a Detonator because we have the cross on the field. We are going to be detaching from the Dweller now. Now, you may be wondering why we're going to do that. We're going to be doing it so we can activate the cross effect to allow us to draw an additional card here. We still want to use the Abyss Dweller during our opponent's turn, which is kind of the only point. If they find a way to kind of go through a turn with the Abyss Dweller, we're going to be able to OTK anyways. We still have 3 of the pops with the Detonator as well as the Negate with that cross here. We're going to be seeing them do the Dweller in the draw phase, and just Tear going to be scooping up. Now, I want to mention that a lot of the opponents here should not know what the opponent is on. Ryzeal should not know what Tear is on, but this is going to be top cut in the match at the locals. So we are going to be kind of knowing what your opponent is playing. Very, very standard there. You do scoop it up pretty early in the match in this case. But, it's also really good when you look at kind of like Dweller's format, I should say. It's kind of really good against a whole bunch of different stuff. It's good against all the Fiendsmith variants as well. Just going to make it even like Lurie is not able to activate the effect. So you're kind of like forced to summon out a Requiem somehow, either going up to the moon and then go up to Requiem. But like having the Engraver as well as having Track is not going to do anything for you to get into that package here. We are going to be diving into game 2 with Tear going to be choosing to go first there. And they're going to be starting off with, we see almost I think a Horus Monster and then the Scream. We're going to send out a copy of Fenrir, and then Fenrir's going to activate the effect, allowing them to search for a copy of the Tear Cache. One of the better cards in the current format. The cash cards are actually kind of crazy. Unicorn as well as Fenrir. And Fenrir is extremely crazy in this deck because we're also going to have the ability to search for a Tear monster here, which mills you 5 cards total, which is going to be pretty nice. We're going to then normal summon a Merly. And we haven't seen this in a very long time with a Merly, Chainlink 1 as well as Scream Chainlink 2, essentially milling 5 cards there. And we do end up hitting a Chibi Karma as well as a Rhino Heart and a Beast, allowing us to kind of get some chains there, which is going to be able to activate. We also see a Imsteady as well as a King Sarcophagus in the graveyard. Now, King Sarcophagus is not going to be a good card that you want to see in the graveyard, but we're playing multiple in the deck, so it's not going to matter that much. So we're going to be seeing the Beast, draw one there, and then we're going to be activating Rhino Heart, sending itself out, sending the Tier Cache to the graveyard, which can then allow us to mill 2 more cards, and then Rhinos will be able to mill. We are going to be chaining a Veiler to the Rhino Heart. So now we're going to be seeing the Tier Cache milling 2 cards. We hit another copy of him steady, it looks like, and then we do hit a Sulik. So Sulik will be able to add us a spell, being the copy of the Shiren. Shiren going to be able to summon itself out by discarding a monster and then milling a few more cards here. And we do see a Talents to rip the hand, and we see it looks like Ice X Ghost Ogre as well as a Bonfire. I wonder what you kind of opt to hit. Ghost Ogre is not crazy against Tier, and Ice is not searchable by the Bonfire, but X is not as well. So it is kind of hard, but at the same time, they all kind of get access to each other. So, I should say they both are accessible to the Bonfires, and I'm trying to say there. So it doesn't really matter what you end up hitting. You don't want to hit the Bonfire, of course, but they choose to hit the Ghost Ogre because they already have all the engine pieces. Hitting another engine piece is not going to do very much. But I'm trying to say they are not searchable, but they are searchable here, so there's no point in ripping them. So now we're going to be leaving them with all engine. We are going to be able to start with X, sending me to Logic to negate a card on the field, essentially, but we hopefully will be able to make a pretty nice of a board. Maybe you can hang on a window because we do see the copy of Beast in the graveyard. We're then going to Tribute Karma. The Tribute Karma banishing itself, allowing us to search for the Tier Field spell, which can then let us add the Haveness to the hand. Essentially, sending that with the Shiren will guarantee us a Winda if we want to be able to make it. But Winda will unfortunately be beat by the Metal Logic Dragon. That's sent off the X immediately, which is kind of unfortunate, but we're going to be seeing Shiren, and then we're going to be sending 3. We do hit another Rhino Heart there and a Trap, so we're going to see the Haveness being the only card that can actually activate in this case. And they're kind of debating what they're going to put here. To shuffle back. You can't go for the... Unfortunately, you can't go for the whole window line. We're going to go up now into the Kaleido Heart, and then Kaleido Heart is going to be able to send, and then we're going to be popping it there with the field spell. That's going to summon itself out. We're going to then send the monster that we have not used yet, which is going to be the Merly that we end up shuffling back, or a Scream, I suppose, and then Scream will be able to search for the Trap card in this case that we're going to be able to send the Merly the next turn. And why does it look like we have the Unsteady in the hand? We're going to be seeing the Sulik being added there. And so now we're kind of just hoping to hit on the next send off the Scream. We can also go for Reader, which can attach and then also get the effect to send as well, which is going to then let us make that wind up potentially during their turn. And our board's actually looking pretty decent here. We have the Scream, which has access. We have the Sulik as well. And then we have the Redoer to attack a monster. Going to be attaching one of the Ice Ryzeals from the deck. Now this is not great, but not horrible. It essentially just puts another Ryzeal name in the graveyard so that we can put the cross draw as well as being able to bring back out with Node. But we have a bunch of Ryzeal monsters in the hand. There's going to be absolutely no necessary to get an additional one in the graveyard here. We're going to be seeing X going to be sending, now starting off with the Aggravator sending itself, and then that's going to be able to be Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. And we can essentially just negate one card on the field, which is pretty nice. And then the X is going to be able to summon out. Or he's going to add a fire, so we're going to be able to add another ice. And we're going to be seeing Metal Logic negate the Kaleido Heart here. Or at least attempt to, or it's going to target the Kaleido Heart. Do we respond with the Trap card here? We're going to be Chainlink 3 Scream, of course, and then Chainlink 4 Rhino Heart, or Chainlink 4 Reader here, detaching to send. So now we're going to be seeing the Chain Resolve backwards, Scream going to be milling 3, and then we're going to be seeing the Kaleido Heart being negated. Then we're going to be seeing the X search for the sword, and now so we have X, Sword, and Ice all known alongside Bonfire in rotation, and we're going to be activating the effect here of Scream and Shiren. Going to be allowing us to search for another trap and then fuse up here. And now we can fuse using the Beast as well as the into the window, and now we can't actually even attempt to get another card off the field because we are going to be locked, as well as we have used that X sending the Melogic already, so it's going to be very hard to get out of that. But we're going to be seeing the tier deck just win automatically here. You know, both players kind of just getting the game relatively quick, especially because tier does play during your opponent's turn. Like, if you're not playing during your opponent's turn and tier after you set up your going first board, you're probably not playing correctly unless you just automatically win the game. So that's very much a tier deck, which is pretty crazy. But it just has the power that, you know, tier is. Tier is one of those decks that's extremely hard to power creep. Now, it is possible, of course, but it is very difficult to power creep this deck, especially with how good some of these fusion monsters can be. Like there, we didn't see anything super crazy. Redoer itself was not an insane card, being able to attach stuff, but you have like Scream, which has an amazing effect to just send and then continuously get resources used for, you know, it's exactly what the deck needs. It sends multiple cards every single turn when a monster special summon out. It has the like make it lose 500 attack, which is not huge, and then when it is sent, it does everything the deck needs to be able to search for a trap card. Like, it's a very good designed card for Tearlaments, which I hope a lot more decks kind of end up getting. You know, you see just decks getting good spells that are continuous spells that like just help the deck, like Branded Regain, crazy card. You see you know, even the like Scream, crazy card. I'm trying to think of other stuff. Deception, crazy card, where, you know, it gets everything the engine needs and then some more as well, which is pretty nice. But dive on into the all-important Game 3. We are going to be seeing tier going to be forced to go first, but the Ryzeal, the big bad deck of this year, going in first here with a Bonfire in the hand, which can end up searching us for an X or the Ice, whichever one we need here. We're going to see it activated, searching for that X Ryzeal, which is going to be one of the better starters. We're going to see them activate the effect, sending a copy of Melogic, which is going to be attaching itself to the Duel Drive or the detonator here, summoning itself out. Allowing us now to search, and we are going to be searching for, I believe it was a sword there. Sword's going to summon itself out, because we do control a Ryzeal monster, and then we're going to activate the effect, allowing us to add a Ice to the hand. And now we have access to all three, just missing the node, which we most likely will be able to get onto the field through the through the Duel Drive here. We're going to be seeing us kind of think on this. Now, we are playing against Tearlaments. We're not playing against a deck that has a whole bunch of hand traps. So going for that Duel Drive is going to be pretty safe here, allowing us to then search for two cards. If we were playing against a heavier hand trap deck, this most likely would get negated by a kind of a hand trap here. So we would not want to go for that line. But we're going to see them activate the effect, once again searching for the plugin as well as the cross. We're then going to activate the Ice, summoning itself out. And then we are going to be able to summon out from the deck here. It does not matter which one we summon out. We can summon out. Really does not matter. So we're going to go for an X. Now, I personally probably wouldn't go for that one. I would go for another sword myself, because I don't want to kind of get it onto the field. I want to be able to search for the X's. Sword is kind of one of the worst ones. But at the same time, the sword is also good when you have Riseol monsters on the field. So it's also really good to keep that in the hand, in the deck as well. It's kind of like all of them just auto wins. We're going to go for the detonator, which can then attach itself, the Melogic from the graveyard. So now we have that as well here as a form of interruption. We are going to then activate the effect to summon out the node, because we already had it in the hand, which could summon out another one there. We're going to go for the plugin, which is summon out the sword, and then attach the trap to the detonator here, which is now going to allow us to have the cross negate as well, and the ability to overlay here with whatever else that we need. And we can then go node effect, sending to the graveyard to summon out the X. Now, I believe node is the one that can activate it, right? Yeah. So then we have another XYZ on the field here. Now we're going to activate the cross effect, allowing us to draw one by putting back two cards. And we have the ability to go up into a Abyss. Yeah, Dweller here. And then we're going to be sending to the graveyard summon out the Ice, because we have not done that yet, which we then overlay up into a Daguerre's, which can allow us to now draw two more additional cards here. We also see a D-Barrier in the hand, which is going to be pretty nice. We're going to be seeing a draw two, discard one, discarding another cross, because we are playing pure. Then we're going to see a Desire, trying to draw us two more cards here. We're just getting pluses on pluses. And then we are going to be seeing we ended up getting another Veiler in hand after all that. So we set another card and pass turn here. We're going to be seeing a draw phase, activate a Dweller. Then we're going to chain a Droplets here, sending a Full Roast as well as the Droplets, negating the Abyss Dweller as well as the Detonator here. Now we cancel the attach, which is going to be pretty nice because we have the ability to still get that cross effect as well as the Mutalogic effect and the trap, of course, in the graveyard as well. But yeah, having Full Roast as the top deck is not going to be the greatest, but with the Droplets, it's just going to be a free card as well as... it's just a free card. It doesn't really matter. It's not really necessarily good. If it was Pirelli, it would be a water that we can shuffle back. But unfortunately it's not. We're going to see a Foolish Burial Goods hitting the Tribute Karma, and then we're going to activate the effect of Tribute Karma banishing itself, letting us search for the field spell, which can then give us access to any of our Tearlament monsters here. We do see Book of Eclipse in the deck as well here for tier. Now, we are seeing a bit more board breaker cards, which is a lot better in the tier deck. But we're going to end up searching for the Scream, or Shiren, I should say, and then Shiren's going to activate the effect. We don't have Scream on the field yet, so we're not going to get that numerous milling as well as the attack kind of change. We are going to go for a Shiren effect, and we're going to activate the Cross effect to negate, and that's going to now let Meteorologic, sent to the graveyard there, off the Cross to negate the Shiren. Okay, now they're asking how that kind of works, but okay. So, yeah. The monster is not being activated there. It's the cross that activates on the resolution of the card, negating the monster effect, which is kind of cool. It's a very interesting interaction here, because it's like Detonator is not the one activating. It's just being detached from, which is very cool. It's like how Gigantic can just attach from a different monster by activating its own effects. We're going to see the Unsteady sending the Shiren to the graveyard here, allowing us to search for the King Sark as well as an additional draw card. And now we're going to activate the King Sark, so I guess we're going to have nothing to fuse that Shiren with. We're then going to see the Unsteady being summoned out, and then we see the Beast being sent off the King Sark, dumping a Happy. And we most likely are only on 2 of the Horus monsters here, but we're going to try to go for a big copy of the Zombie Vampire. I wonder if we just let Zombie Vampire come out, not call XYZ, and then kind of opt to hit Fusion, so that when they try to hit that Fusion spell, or a Fusion monster, we then see that. Like, if we don't really care if they mill at all, it's not going to really matter. So we're going to see the Tier Cache going to be milling 3 cards, banishing a Shiren, and we end up hitting the Scream there. And banishing the Shiren is going to be huge unless we end up maybe setting a trap to the graveyard. So we see a Solic going to be searched off that Scream. But all the cards are now known, so we actually could decide to flip up. I feel like you don't want to flip up. You want to wait for them to XYZ summon first, because leaving the Horus monster on the field is actually pretty impactful. So we're going to think, man, we do have 2 Veilers in the hand, so we could opt to Veiler both of them, but I believe Happy adds 2 cards back to the hand, something like that, so it's going to be pretty good. We're going to be seeing the Happy attack into the Dweller, which is halved. And then we're going to be seeing Unsteady attack into the Detonator there. I wonder if we should have just gone for a point where we just go for like a Zeus with the plug-in. Or the Trap Wall, I should say. But we're then going to be seeing an overlay up into a Zombie Vampire. And they're going to activate the effect. We do chain a Veiler to that, essentially just negating it. Wanting to keep that Fusion, or that D-Bear, which is an auto-win, in our inventory, I should say. Because being able to stop all the Fusion monsters is pretty crazy for the whole tier. Especially if you end up milling a couple of them and then you chain the trap card, D-Bear calling Fusion. It's going to be like, okay, well now we're just kind of at a gas. So, kind of nice. Now we're going to look through her banish to see what we have left in the deck here, because we are pretty low on cards in the deck. We have used 2 X's, 2 Ices, I believe, 2 Swords, and our Node. So it could still be Tier's game, just through the lack of resources. We don't even have a draw off of the Dugaris as well. So we're going to be working with the cards we have in hand. So we just set one and we pass turn here. So we're going to go for cross, which is then going to allow us to get a 1 draw here. And we're putting back very important cards, getting that draw. And we draw into another D-Barrier, or an Imperm here. We're then going to activate the ice, summoning itself out. And then if we do almost summon, we can special summon another one from the deck here, which is going to be pretty important. And they are thinking, like, do they want to negate this? This is the question. I feel like you have to. Unless they have another body in the hand. Like, but the odds of them having 2 Ryzeal monsters is pretty low. So we're going to be seeing them take the chance here, negating that ice with the Ryzeal. And they're thinking, like, they're looking in response. What could we have in response here? We're going to see the Tier Cash being sent. We're going to be milling the Rhino and a drop. And Rhino doesn't have anything in the hand to send, so we cannot even set it there. But we just now have every card essentially from the tier player in rotation being in knowledge there. All we have to do is get rid of the copy of the King Stark, and it's going to be essentially just free game there. We're just going to see us set 1 additional card and passing turn. You know, that additional card being a copy of Imperm, trying to negate that trap card there. We're going to be seeing the King Stark bring back out the Imsteady, which we can do every single turn. And we're going to see another opportunity for the Zombie Vampire activating the effects. We are going to chain a Veiler to this, but we're going to be seeing the Happy being brought back out. And at this point, we know the game is going to be essentially over, and we're going to be seeing Tearlaments end up taking the win here. I wonder if we got a little bit greedy with all these monsters summoning out, you know, the Dugaris, trying to draw into those cards. We didn't get necessarily lucky with not drawing into more engine cards. We saw a lot of hand traps, as well as D-Barriers. Not even able to activate the D-Barrier, calling the fusion cards. There was nothing that was really kind of fused with, and then drawing into Imperm off the cross is not the greatest. Obviously, droplets being able to negate 2 of our big monsters on the field is going to be huge. Now, looking back, the Dweller actually didn't do very much for us that turn, but still, not being able to use a detonator is definitely going to be rough. And we end up seeing here that that tier ended up getting the win against the big bad meta deck of 2025. So 2023 still holding on strong, and Tearlaments still the best deck without even Kit. Regardless, this is going to be the first video of 2025 dropping. I hope you guys are going to be seeing a little bit more content improval. If you guys want to see anything else, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to stay safe. Peace.